Hi, this is Christopher Jones with Authentic Leader, where I bring out the best in leaders. If you're from Richmond, you certainly know this place. If you are not from Richmond and you're planning a visit here to Richmond, I strongly encourage you to just check out this area of Richmond. It's actually called the Fan, and specifically this road is called Monument Avenue, and there are monuments all along this entire boulevard. If you look at the last video, we talk about how to actually give a numerical rating and how to plot your employees on what's called the skill will matrix. So if you've not done that, I encourage you to go back to that video and take a look at it. In order to do that, you can also get a free PDF download that will complement where to plot your employees on this matrix. If you go to christopherrjones.com/download 417, you can get that free PDF download. So let's talk specifically about the 4 quadrants that I've been mentioning in this video series. So each employee's specific task, it really can be plotted on the skill will matrix. And again, you can get that PDF download. And what it will do is it'll actually result in a plot in one of 4 quadrants. Now, depending on the plot location in the quadrant, it really can provide guidance for the manager to adjust their management style to the employee's specific needs. Now, each of these 4 quadrants is labeled. So the bottom left quadrant is called Direct and Supervise. The top left is called Excite. The bottom right is called Guidance, and then the top right is Delegate. Now we'll go into each one of these, and here are some suggested approaches that a manager can consider to help their employees improve their task performance. So first, let's talk about the bottom left-hand quadrant. This is called Direct and Supervise. Now these employees, they have a combination of low skill and low will to perform a task. Now, if you are choosing which to address first, which one do you think you'd address first? It is actually will. So unless you can really address the will or the desire or really the motivation of the employee to do the task, no amount of skill is really going to help all that much. So you really have to find out what is it that is driving their will to be so low. Now, with low will and low skill, you need to provide specific direction and really provide extensive follow-up until the employee is able to increase their skill and will to perform that task. Now, it should be noted that employers that have that higher skill and higher will, they might describe this as micromanaging. And in their case, it actually is micromanaging for them. But for these employees that have low will and low skill, it is not micromanaging. They simply need that additional direction because they have got no perspective, they have no experience. They really need to understand that as they are increasing their skill and their will. Now, as you can imagine, employees that have this low will and low skill, they simply cannot live in this direct and supervise area for very long. Your expectation as a manager is that they are going to increase their skill and will as they move along. So if they don't, then you might have an employee that is either simply doing the wrong task and they're not suited for doing that task, or if it is a major part of their role, they potentially could be in the wrong role. So now you've got some very important decisions to make. So next, let's talk about employees that have high skill but low will to perform the task. And this is what we call Excite in the upper left-hand corner of the matrix. Now, like Direct and Supervise, the manager really needs to address the employee's will first. What is it that is giving them that low desire or motivation to perform the task? Now, through conversations, or maybe it's even through several conversations, the manager simply needs to identify why the employee has that low will to perform the task. Now, there are endless reasons that may or may not be apparent to the manager, so it really takes a conversation. And you want to really take this on cautiously, as the reason that the employee may have that low will, it may not be something that is readily apparent. It actually might be something that's completely unrelated to the work or to their job. A manager really needs to give the employee something to get excited about when they're in this quadrant. Now, it may also require a conversation about why this task is important. What is compelling about the task, and what is the next step in the process, and why does doing this task really contribute to that next step in the process? Or really, how completing this task really helps another coworker or ultimately helps the department. So making those connections for employees in this area can be very helpful. You also want to provide feedback to the employee, especially when their progress toward performing the task is really going well. They need to know that they're doing a good job. This is a manager's opportunity to really reinforce the employee's behavior and develop a sense of pride for the work that they are performing. So come back tomorrow, we will talk about the last 2 quadrants in the skill will matrix. Again, go to christopherrjones.com/download 417 to get your free PDF download companion that goes with this conversation. Until next time, bring out the best in your leadership.